It's 3D modeling day. Don't go away. Hey everybody, it's Paul from Fat Guy Productions, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And today it is indeed 3D printing day. Now, if you have watched my channel at all, at one point I had clearly stated that my channel's goal was to bring to you home and hobby. That was the focus of my channel. And more hobby than home, because I'm a hobby guy. But if I find something homey that I think you would be interested in, I'm absolutely going to share it with you. So on the hobby side of it, I have a lot of hobbies, and you've seen them all. And now that I've added 3D printing, I'm really excited about it, and I've decided to make it an official part of my channel. And we're going to talk about 3D modeling, 3D printers, and what have you. Now, why should you listen to me? I just got this thing, so what the hell can I possibly know? Well, that is an absolute fair question. And what I would say is, first of all, I'm not actually a complete novice to this. I've been 3D modeling for a long time. Just never really got into the printing part of it because cost was just out of my reach. Well, cost is no longer an issue for just about most of us. So now I can take that 3D modeling itch of mine and I can scratch it with a 3D printer. You are going to be able to benefit by watching me learn. You're going to be able to see the mistakes I make and the lessons I learn, and hopefully come out and understand what we're doing together. Today, what we're going to be looking at is a maker's coin. Now, this is something from a gentleman in Australia, I think it is, and his channel is Maker's Muse. I'm going to put a link down below it, especially because I feel really bad because I don't remember his name. But he came up with the idea of these maker coins that you can use to run samples of your filament, or to use for trading, or, you know, packaging, whatever you decide you want to do with them. But for me, it was just more of a fun thing to do. So I made a maker's coin, and I'm going to show you how I did it right now. Okay, so to get started, we'll open up our internet browser. And we're going to go to Tinkercad, which is an online 3D modeling program. That's pretty good for what it is, but it's certainly not a high-end standalone package, but more than capable of doing what we want to do here. So you'll have to have a username and all that, and you can figure all that out. And then we'll start a new project. Okay, so here's a 3D universe, and you know, you got your plane, and you got your X, Y's, and Z's, and all that stuff. And over here, you have, on the right here, you see we've got a bunch of different canned geometric shapes. But there's really nothing here. That's it. That's what there is. So, wow, it's going to be hard to make something unless we go here to the secret area under Shape Generators, and we click All. Now it opens pages and pages of great shapes, and we can find one to use. Now, you can use just a cylinder if you want, but I'm trying to make mine a little different. I was looking at these gears and maybe using something like that. So I just started going through and looking for something that I thought I could use to make my coin a little bit unique. You know, even look, there's snowflakes, there's a little cookie-looking thing and a heart, you know, the globes and cylinders and all sorts of cool shapes. So I just kind of kept scaling through, and this caught my eye right here, this twisted thing here. So that is going to be my maker coin right there. I love that thing. Okay, so I just drag it into the window and pop. There it is. I've got a thing here. Now, a really good size for coins is about 50 millimeters by about 10 millimeters. So all you got to do is just drag one handle out until you see that measurement down on the bottom. It says 50. Okay, so I've got a kind of a circle thing. And then I'm going to just drag that little up and down one until I'm at about 10 millimeters. And immediately there, I've got like a coin type thing. Now, with this particular shape, it has some options. And you see, I can work this slider to get the number of points. And then I'll kind of round out my coin a little bit more and put this cool little pattern on the edge of my coin, which I'm really digging. Okay, so, hey, foundation to a coin. Not so hard, right? And look how cool the edge is. Okay? Not a lot of people doing that with their coins. So, this will definitely help it to stand out. Okay, so now what we've got to do is we've got to kind of scoop out the center of this thing. And there's going to be a fairly easy way to do it. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to kind of put it in a place where I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so now I want to scoop it out. So I want a sphere. Now see this one up in the all? This is a high-res sphere. If you use the regular sphere they have, it's going to be really got a lot of flat panels to it. This one is going to be high-res. It's going to be a perfect circle. So I now have a perfect circle. Well, a sphere, I should say. Now what I want to do is I want to make the sphere bigger. Okay? I want it to kind of be not as big as my coin, but almost as big as my coin. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of scale it up, make it a lot bigger. And I'm going to try and position it a little bit. And I don't know, I probably should make it a little bit bigger, but I think I'm going to roll with this. I don't know, I'm kind of designing as we go. I don't really exactly know how I'm going to do this. Okay, but now what we need to do is we need to flatten this circle, because what we want to do is we want to scoop out part of the coin. And if we just had it in a sphere, it would you'd only be able to scoop a little bit out before you ended up poking out the bottom, and we don't want to poke out the bottom. So I kind of flattened this thing so it's kind of like a flat sphere. Did that make any sense? See, looking at it from the top, it looks like a sphere. But if you look at it from the side, it's kind of oblong. There you go. But that's what we want, so that it's got a nice, gentle scoop out. So we got what we want. Now, I made a mistake here. I forgot something. I just grouped these together because it should punch that out, but I forgot that I had to make that a hole. So then I had to ungroup it, click on the sphere, turn it into a hole. Now, it's not going to scoop it out until you drag across and select both pieces and group them, and now it punches it out. Okay, so there, I've got my coin, and most maker coins have this kind of little scoop in them. I don't know why. I guess it's just, a thing. And these maker coins were the idea of the Aussie gent at Maker's Muse. And I'll put a link to his site below. I wish I could remember his name right now, but I'm an old fart and I forget stuff. But I will put his name, I promise, in the notes below, along with a link to his YouTube channel, because he's really kind of the founding father of maker coins. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and try and center this again. Now, that actually looked pretty good for a second there. But I realized, I'm thinking to myself, so soon it's going to punch into here that, wait a second, it does have an align feature. I haven't ever used the align feature before, but it does have one. So I just need to kind of figure out how to work it. But right now I'm just kind of admiring my handiwork. Now you notice, to rearrange that a little bit, I had to ungroup it again, so it's not a hole anymore. Because, once again, like I said, I didn't understand the alignment tool. But anyhow, I've selected both. I'm going to try the alignment tool again. I clicked it. Well, I'm going to click it. There we go. Now, see these points? This is where I figured it out. If I click that point, it aligns on that. And now if I click that one, it aligns on that. So those little dots are how you want to align it. So now it's aligned, and all I had to do is turn off the alignment tool, and you can look at that, it's perfect. Now I can go ahead and group this back together, and watch, I'll punch it back out, and there, now my dish out is perfectly aligned because I finally figured out how to use the alignment tool. Whew, that was exhausting, I gotta tell you. But, hey, it's kicking ass. Okay, so now I need to put some text in there, and I'm going to put my my code name, Fat Guy. I'm going to put the initials of Fat Guy in here. And so here's a bunch of different kinds of text, so I'll stick this one in here and take a look and see what it has. And it's got this plain old boring font here, and looks like I can change it to one of 3 typefaces. Wow. Okay, not good. Delete that sucker. Let's try this next one. Okay, this doesn't even let you change anything. That's not going to work. Goodbye. Okay, let's drag this one in here. Oh, look at that. That's better. That's better. That's better. Okay, look at that. I'm going to use this stencil font. And I'm going to make it taller. My dogs are going to growl and bark at me for some reason. Shut up, dogs! Tater, you're starting stuff for no reason. Okay, so now I'll just type in FG for Fat Guy. And I've made this really tall, so it's taller than the coin because I want it to go through the top and the bottom of the coin. So now I'll just drag it into place. And because now I am an alignment wizard, okay, I'm going to scale it a little bit. But when I'm ready, I'm going to be able to use the alignment tool to center this dead on now that I understand what I'm doing there. But right now I'm just trying to kind of roughly feel out the size that I want this thing to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch this right out of the center of the coin. And it's going to be just wide open there. And that's why this font is going to work really good. Okay, so I got it all selected. I turned on alignment. And once again now, I click my 2 little dots. The lines left to right. And I guess I probably should have aligned it to the middle, which I didn't really do. But I turned it into a hole. And I grouped it. And now it is punched out of my coin. I hope you can see that really well. I think what I was thinking is maybe I could write the words out Fat Guy above the FG, but I didn't like that. So I ungrouped it, and now I'm going to think about this a little bit. Like I said, I'm kind of designing as we go, and see how where I had it like here? I didn't like that. So I'm going to select it all. I'm going to go back to the alignment tool. Now I'm going to click the alignment. And there, look, I'm dead center, okay? I still think the FG's a little bit too big, though. I think it probably needs to be smaller. I think it should all be inside the scoop out part. But once again, I select both pieces, I group them together, and it'll take anything that is a hole, and it'll punch it right out. And so here you can see what my coin is kind of looking like. And I think it's looking pretty cool if you ask me. I've got it all inside the scoop. I got the little spirally edge to it. I'm thinking this looks pretty cool. And so now I'm going to go ahead and export this. And I need an STL so I can take it into Cura. So I'm going to export it as an STL. And it's going to drop it down into my download folder. And so now I can go ahead and quit. Okay, so I've opened up Cura, and instead of dragging it in, I'll just use the little import folder here. And then I'll go to my desktop. And there's my new coin, so I'll click it, and it'll drop it right into my window. And I'll kind of adjust my window a little bit so we can see it just a little bit better. Look at that. Look at how nice that is. That's going to be great. A little bit different. Everybody has those little scallops in it. I don't. You know, just a little bit different. Something fun. I like it. Okay, so now that I can see it better, I'm just going to double check all my parameters. For those of you who watched my video on my Cura settings, I have updated them to increase my quality. All right, so I'll probably do another video on my updated settings here soon, but right now, just suffice it to say I've updated my quality settings, and at the end of this I'll show you the difference between a coin with my original settings and these settings, and you will be amazed. Okay, so even though I know my settings are the same, I'm going through and checking everything. You know, I don't want this thing to get to the printer and spend 2 hours only to find out I had something wrong. So I'm going to, even though I know I'm running my profile, I'm going to go ahead and check my settings. Because like I said, you know, I have a profile set that I am now printing off of. And so I liked everything, so I clicked slice. And now that it's sliced, we can go to layer view and we can just kind of scroll through the layers and see how it's going to look throughout the coin. So we can just grab the slider. You'll only see this slider when you change to the layer view on a sliced item. But now I can see how the guts of the coin, yeah, they're hollow, believe it or not. Okay, so I can kind of follow it around and take a look and see what's going on. Okay, there was my raft. All right, so she is sliced, and everything looks good. Now I can save it to file, and I'm just going to save it to my desktop for right now, and then I'll put it onto my SD card, and I'm going to take it on up to the printer so that we can go ahead and make a coin. Okay, so I've taken my coin model and I put it on my SD card, and I brought it up here and I put it into my printer. My printer is on, I've got filament loaded, I'm preheating to 190. So now we can go ahead and we'll go ahead and print the coin and see how it comes out. So I've increased the layers, or decreased the layers to 0.1, initial layer 0.2. I've slowed it down to like, I want to say 35 millimeters. And what else have I done? I think that's about it. That's all the changes I've made. And I should see substantial improvement in this coin. And in fact, after I get this coin out, I'll give you some close-up looks at some of the different coins I've done, including this one, and let you kind of see what's going on. Okay, so now I can see the raft being accurately formed on my print bed. It's stuck down good, it's not moving, we're not catching on anything, there's no weird globs that are going to cause me any problems. So I have no concerns about this at this point. It's going to print, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to let you guys watch the entire print process, sped up of course, and then when it's done, I'll be back. All right? Okay, she's done. I'll get out my little scraper tool here and try and get up underneath this thing. Sorry my big fat hairy arm is underneath there, but there it is. Comes off. Now one thing I'm noticing is the raft looks amazing down in the bottom of the letters. I wish I could find a way to keep that look inside the letters. That's something I got to work on, because if I could do that, I would totally do that, because you saw how cool it looked in there. But anyhow, look at the great sides. Come on, focus, damn you. There you go. Look at that. Very unique, unlike what everybody else is doing. And look at the quality of this print, okay? Look how smooth that is. Okay, so there you have it. My Fat Guy Productions Maker's Coin. This was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I hope you kind of got the gist of what was going on there, and I really hope you make one. And if you do, please share the final results with me. Let me see the pictures. You know, email me, text me, put them down in my comments, whatever. I would love to see what you guys come up with. All right. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Ask any questions, make any comments, especially about, did you enjoy this 3D printing video? Okay, because it is something new, and I need to know what you guys want, because after all, you guys make me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions, wishing you a fantabulistic day. Be good. Love this thing.